Yeah, all right. Now I've started the recording. So let's get started. So you've opened your VS Code, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So can you remember how to first open a blank folder? You are joining with another a device, right?
Yeah,
Okay, if that is what you wanted, no problem.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Okay, so are you done now?
yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So let's continue. Okay, if can you remember when the last time we met, I taught you how to open a folder. To just start a new blank page when you are doing when you are creating a website. Can you remember that or no?
Uh, like you say, you should go to your folder and open a new blank folder there or something like that, if I can remember.
Okay, okay, no problem. All right, then what we will do is that normally we can open a blank folder here. You understand? So let me open this one and then just start with this folder. So here the introduction. Normally we have a lot of different files extension. You understand? We have a lot of different file extension. Whatever you see on the website consists of all these kind of extensions. With these extensions, um, that is where you found like PDF, PowerPoint, Excel. But when it comes to the website itself, it uses what we call HTML. You understand? It uses HTML. So in this file, as you see, we have different files extension. Normally, we have a name of the file and we have the extension of the file. So whenever you have something like you open your Explorer, uh, Windows Explorer, like a file folder like this, whenever you want to create any file, you come inside the folder or this file like this, for instance. You right click and then you can go and create new and create a folder here, right? So when I click here, I can create a folder and it tells me to give a name for the folder. So my, I can write my first website. Understand? So I can write my first website. So that is the name of the folder. So this is a folder. You see, this is a folder. And these are all files. You understand? So I can copy all these things and then put it inside this. I can copy and put it inside this folder. So when they ask you the difference between file and a folder, so a file is just like a one executable this thing, something, or let's say file. You understand? Like something that you can just click and it will open for you. You are accessing the file immediately. You understand? But when it comes to folder is contain all the files. So you can put all these files inside this folder. Like
Folder.
putting um, your letters inside, like how should I give an example? Like putting your all of your money inside your purse. You have a lot of different money that you have. Maybe you have 20 Turkish, 30 Turkish TL, 50, 100. But all of them, each money is a file. So when you gather all this and put it in one folder or one in a pairs, that pairs is your folder. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that pairs is your folder, and your money are this. This is your money. This is your money. Let's say this is your 20 Turkish TL. This is 50. This is 100. So you take all these things and put inside this your pairs. So that is how a folder and a file work. You understand? So when you are creating a website, you have to have like a box or a folder that can contain all the files. You understand? Because all these can represent like different pages on your website. So you can see this is your about page. This is your about page. This is your contact page, and this is your maybe like shopping page. You understand? So all these are placed inside this your own website, the domain. You understand? Like you have
Yeah.
Amazon.com, but inside Amazon.com, there is a different domain name. You understand? You have Amazon.com/shop, Amazon.com/about us, Amazon.com/contact us. So that slash, it leads you to the extension or the file name. You understand? That is the page that you're accessing. So that is what file and extend and a folder, the difference between file and folder. So when in web design, we have these kind of things because we normally use this in our building our website. Because in our website, it contains multiple pages, and inside all the pages, there might be different files with different extension, whether it is MP3, whether it is a video, whether it is picture, images, whatever, document, text, etc. There are lots. You understand? So this normally what we do or what we are going to encounter is we are using the .html. That's where you see hypertext markup language. It is the language for the web pages or websites. You understand? So HTML stands for hypertext markup language. It is a markup language for creating web pages. That is what I told you before. We use HTML as a markup language to create web pages because our browser, like Google Chrome, Safari, understand this HTML. It describes the structure of a web page. It consists of a series of elements. Inside the HTML, it has a lot of elements. So with these elements, we use it to describe whatever things that we want to display inside the website. How we want the website to look like, whether we want to have a link, whether we want to have like an image, whether we want to have an image. We have something we call elements. So that elements in that HTML will describe that kind of thing that we wanted. You understand? So HTML element tells the browser how to display the content. So we use this element to tell the browser, Google Chrome, Safari, we are telling them this is what we want. So whatever you see in programming or in most of the languages, what we are doing is we are giving instructions to the web browsers. And to give that instructions, web browsers, they understand HTML, which has an element. And so when we use that element, we have different elements. So that element will describe and tell the browser this is how we want to display our thing, whether it is video, whether it is audio, whether it is MP3, whether it is an image, whether it is just a normal text. We use element to display the content on the web pages. You understand? So these are some of the elements that we have. We have DOCTYPE, HTML, and normally this is normally used to tell the browser that we are using HTML. You understand? Look at it. Say document type, HTML. It means it defines that this document is an HTML5 document. And then some of the elements also are HTML elements is the root element of an HTML page. This is the root. You understand? So as you know, we have a root of a tree. So this also similarly look like this. HTML is the root. You understand? Like maybe if we say, oh, where is your root? We all know that we are talking about your origin. You understand? So this is the root of what?
Yeah.
The element is the root of an HTML page. You understand? So as I told you, every element has what it describes. You understand? So head, you all also know that it contains information about HTML pages, the head. The title also specify the title for the pages, like whether it is Amazon.com when you are using an online or domain name. So mostly that is what we see the title as the .something.com. Understand? Most of the time, this title display on the tab of your website. Like for instance, if I open one page, one Google Chrome like this, and I try to access my website like this, you can see that at the top there, look at this top there. You see here it's written new tab. So this is mostly the title. So when you see something like this title, this is what describing this one, new tab. You see because I'm using an online, see C4W design. So this is the title. Okay. So when you go to Amazon.com, you also will see their title. You see Amazon.com. So this is the title that they are using. Come again?
No.
Okay. So that's how it works. So normal, as I told you, the element display the content. So you see here, it display the content. Here, the title display this content as new tab. This Amazon, this C4W design. Understand? So all this element that you see has its own description that it does inside the website. So this is the body. It defines the document body. And mostly this body is where you write most of all your content.
Information.
You understand? Whatever you see here, it is from, let's say it starts from this up to the bottom, whole rectangular or rectangular side, this section. It takes all, whatever you see here is inside the body. And what you don't see is the title. Those are inside the head. That's why you see this is head and this is body. Understand? So mostly the structure looks simpler, and this is H1 and P. This is heading 1. This is normally a font or typographic element, and then this is a paragraph. So this is a simple structure of how the HTML look like. You understand? As I explained, these are just the explanation what it does inside the website. So normally, as a basic structure of an HTML, this is how it look like. we always have something we call starting tag and an ending tag. You understand? Starting tag and an ending tag. So whenever we start something like this, we look at this as this way. This is what we normally start with, doctype HTML. We are telling the browser that we are using HTML document type. You understand? And then we first introduce our first element, which I told you it is the root, right? And when it is the root, we have an open tag and a closing or an ending tag. When we open something, we close it. So that's what we do here. We open and then we close it. So all of whatever it is inside the HTML. How you are getting me?
Yes, I'm getting.
So we have HTML. This means open. Like I've opened a bottle and then I'm closing the bottle. It means, and what is the difference to understand whether I've opened, I've closed? The difference is just this / here. So whenever you add a
Slash mean you close it.
yeah, whenever you see / it means, oh, I have finished everything and I'm closing it.
Okay.
You understand? So if you want to understand much better, you see here we have what a head. And then where does we close the head? Here. So it means this title is inside the head. You understand? And then here we also have title. We also have to close the title. So we close the title here. You understand? And the body is open. Where does the body close? Here. You understand? So all whatever is inside here belongs to the body only. You understand? Like you will say that, okay, this is the stomach, or this is my stomach, for instance. And inside my stomach, I have these two things inside my stomach. I mean, this is the body, this is the body. So the head is this one, is the head. And inside the head, or inside my head, I have title.
Title.
You understand? So this is HTML close. So this is from your head to toe. If we are going to describe it that way, from your head to toe is HTML close. And then starting from your head, we have what is inside your head, title. And then we move to your body. What is inside your body? This head 1, H1, that is heading 1, and paragraph. So inside your stomach, it is where we write all the content. Because as a human being, whatever you eat, it goes inside your stomach. So we can see that, oh, inside the body, this is where we have our content. So just take that scenario and you understand this structure simply. First of all, we have HTML, which is the root, meaning from the head to toe, right? Then we come there, we move to the head. And when we move to the head, inside the head, we have title. And then after we move, we go to our body. We open the body and we close. And inside our body, we have heading 1 and paragraph. And inside the body that we write every content that we want to show inside the website. This is simple. You can understand it easily that way. Okay?
Okay, I understand.
Okay. So let's move forward. So as I told you, we have what we call the start tag, and then we have the ending tag. This is how it look like. The same thing as I told you. Open, close.
Close.
This is open, and this is closed. So all your content will be here. I understand. If you write only this open and you didn't close it, it definitely will give you error because it doesn't know where it ended. You understand? Whenever you open, you have to close it so that you know that these things are inside. I am controlling this tag name and what closing tag name.
So after you create all the content, then you close.
Come again?
For example, like maybe you are creating a content.
Yeah.
So after you finish creating everything that you need to close, or before you complete,
No,
maybe you
mostly
get to some point.
it is a professional way to close it before. Just immediately you start writing the open, just write the closing and start writing things inside. Because if you say that when you finish, you close, you might forget closing it. You understand? So the best practice is always to give the close opening and closing like this and just type whatever you want to be inside. And even when you are using a professional editor, immediately you type this open, it will give you this closing tag automatically. You understand? So this is how it look like. You see this. So these two are things that were in the body, the H1 and paragraph. And then lastly, we have some elements. We know I told you we have something like open and closing tag, right?
Yeah.
But there are some elements or there are exceptional elements. As you know, even in English language, there are some things or some words that doesn't follow the normal structure. You understand? It happens in everything, in every language, in everything. So this also there is some exceptional. It is not always that you open and you close. There are some elements it has only open, it doesn't have a closing tag. You understand? And one of them are this BR, it means break. BR means break. Normally, what they normally do is that they normally use an abbreviation to represent most of the thing. Instead of writing heading 1, they just write H1. Instead of writing full paragraph, they just write P. So that you know that, this resemble or this represent paragraph. Break, BR. And so most of the times by looking at even the short acronym, you will understand what it means. BR, it will come into your mind, break. Understand? So the element doesn't have a closing tag. Understand? So we call it empty elements. You see, empty elements. So those are empty elements. And one example also is an image tag, img. So here is break, and we can see img. It's also what? It's used for getting an image. It doesn't have a closing tag. So most of the time, those elements, they are used inside other elements. Other elements cannot be used inside them. For them, they are just dependent. You understand? So like an image like this, image is just like an image. You cannot put something inside the image. So or you have to take the image and put it inside something. And because you want the image to show. If you want the image to show, why would you put something inside the image? That means the image will block. People will not see the image. So that image doesn't have a closing tag. It just have an open tag. Like for instance, this break, it just like giving a space, like leaving a space. That is what it means. Break means let's leave a space for me. That is what normally it does, break. So if two paragraph are merged together or are very closer together, I want to have a small space between them. So I can use this break to give that space between them. So mostly that is the function it does, break. And then all these are just to show you the browsers that we have. because all these understand the language of HTML. So this HTML, all these browsers understand it. Google Chrome, Microsoft Explorer, or Firefox, Opera Mini, and then Safari. I hope you remember all of them.
Yeah, I remember.
What is this?
Microsoft.
Microsoft what? Microsoft Edge. What is this?
Um, Chrome.
Google Chrome. What is
Yeah.
this?
Explorer.
No.
Uh, Firefox. Mozilla.
Firefox. Most of the time, when you look at even there's fire image.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say Firefox because it is a fox. They draw it. They drew a fox which has a fire.
Oh, yeah. Now
Firefox.
I realize there's a fox.
So you see, this is Firefox. So when you come to this is Opera Mini.
Oh,
Opera Mini. A lot of people don't use this, but a lot of people use either this, but most use Google Chrome.
Google Chrome.
Yeah, but because Microsoft Edge is already built in the Windows, some of it comes automatically. So some people also know this. And then Safari, which is normally on the laptop, on the iOS machines. All is Safari. This is not for Windows. This is just for iOS. Those who are using the iPhone and then the laptop. I mean, Mac OS. They are using that. So you see how this what we wrote here or this structure. You see this structure. It is the one which it is displaying here. You see how it is. So the title is index.html. And when you look at the title, look at inside our website name, look at index.html. So when you want to trace all these things inside your file, you look at it started from the file, then it went to your your C drive from your computer. This is your C drive. You see? So this C that you see, C drive, when I go here, look at here, down here. This is the C that you see. You see that the letter is C. You see here. So that is why you normally see. Normally they write this PC. So it is this one, the C letter that you normally see. So if here you see it is C. So it means you are in a C drive. It means I'm here now. When I'm on this C, it means I'm here. So when I open this, I'm entering inside. So it means I've opened this one. So whatever it is inside, I will select. So here, let's say I selected users. It means it tells you that inside the C, there is users. So let's find users. So I've entered inside the C. Let's find the users. Where is users? You see, this is users. Have you seen?
Yeah.
So that is how it works. First of all, I'm on the C. So when I enter inside, I'm going to users. Here is the users. So this is users folder. So it's the same thing as here. I give another word forward slash and I'm entering my user. It means when I enter inside, I'm going to see my user. And so but here, because I didn't create, because here he created this file name. So here I can see, oh, let me create this same name and give it a name like my user. You understand? Okay, let me just give it constantly because I'm just giving you an example. So that is how the folder works. So you move inside. It when you are going here, you are going directly inside different folders. So what make the difference is that the forward slash tells you that you are inside this folder, you are inside this folder, you are inside this folder. You understand? So some people goes maybe from the back upwards or from the upwards to downwards. Or from here you are entering inside. So from C, I'll open a folder called users, and then I'll open a folder called my users. Then I'll go to a desktop, and inside desktop, I'll found a file. So the difference, you see that when it is a file, you see at the end it has dots. You understand? Dot something. So when it is dot something means you are now inside that file. How do you understand?
Ah,
Come again?
no, someone is talking to me. It's
Ah,
not
okay.
me.
Okay. So normally that is how it works. That is how the folder parts work. So let's continue. And then as I told you, so this is how the folder path work. So when I open the same thing inside the VS Code, I'll show you how it works. So let's continue. So let's dive. I think these are all just explaining the same thing that I told you before. And this is a VS Code, Visual Studio Code that we downloaded. And then this is a professional editor. There is another one too, which is called Sublime Text. This also do the same thing as Visual Studio Code. So this is an alternative if you want to go and check about it, or you can download it and install on your PC and try it. It's the same thing. It does the same thing as this one. They are all professional editors. So it depends on your preference. But most people prefer Visual Studio Code.
Visual Studio.
So now we can move to our professional editor, which is our VS Code. So this is our VS Code. So for instance, you open your VS Code, and then we want to open a new folder. As I told you, the difference between folder and a file.
File.
Can you remember what's the difference between folder and a file?
You say like there is folder and file.
Okay.
Like the files, they are separately on their own,
Okay.
and like all those files, you can take it and put it inside the folder, which is make it a, how can I say,
Yeah,
a
I understand.
complete folder. Oh,
Yeah, I understand. I mean, like you can
yeah,
take all the file and put them inside a folder. So it means
yeah,
that a file is just a single, something, you understand, which you can just
yeah,
access it directly, like a sheet of paper. You understand?
yeah,
A sheet of paper. It's just like a file. You cannot take that sheet of paper and say that I'm going to put something inside that same sheet of paper. No, it's just a single sheet. You are just accessing. So what you need to do with the paper is just to read what is on the paper. Understand? So that is a single file. So when you have different papers and you put that papers inside a, an archive, you understand? We call that. So that archive will be your folder because it contains a lot of files. So
folder.
you can see that a folder contains a lot of files, while a file is dependent. You understand? File is dependent on the folder.
Yeah,
You understand? So that's what you can just see. So here, normally what we normally do with file is we write script on the file. We write something on the file. You understand? So we have a lot of extension files. As I told you, we have PDF, we have Microsoft Word documents. So everything that you see here is, so for instance, I've opened this PDF. So this is a file itself. So we just open it and read. Understand? But things that contain the files are what we call folder. So in order to open our folder, because we want to have different pages at the end of our website. So the first thing that we need to open is to open a folder, because a folder can carry a lot of different files. Understand? So that is why normally we start opening folder, or we start creating a new folder. Understand? So for instance, if I go inside, let's say I'm going inside maybe download here. So this is a folder, you understand? So I'm going inside this download folder. So here I can create the name that I want for my website, because I want to create a folder. You understand? So I can start on any blank page, because sometimes if you stand on here, it will be as if you are clicking this thing. You understand? So if you right click on it, it will just select this one. To select this one. So in order not to have this selected, you want to open a blank, you just make sure you are outside empty space like this. You understand? And you right click, then it will give you an options to create a folder. Then you come to new, and this place is where you can create your folder. You understand? So if you look at this place, you will see that there is different folder and files that you can create. So here you see that it contains two things, a folder and a file. So it gives you an option that what do you want to create? Do you want to create a folder that at the end you can put different files inside it? Or do you want to just create one single file? You understand? So this is all different files. And because I have installed a lot of applications, that is why we are seeing all this. If I hadn't installed anything, you would have seen only this folder and some this because some of them comes automatically with Windows. But if you've never installed Microsoft Word or Microsoft Tools, because Microsoft Tools consists of PowerPoint, Word, and then other styles. You understand? So if you don't have any Microsoft tools installed, all these Microsoft PowerPoint, Word will not show here. You understand? Because I install Python, you see, it's giving me, do I want to create a file of Python? Because I install this test notepad, it's telling me, do you want to create a test file? Do you want to create a Microsoft Excel sheet? Or do you want to create a WinRAR zip file? Or do you want to just create a shortcut, a file, which is just a shortcut? Or do you want to create a folder? So normally you see that the folder is at the top, because the folder can contain a lot of different files. So now I will tell them that no, I want a folder. Then I click. Then now it tells me what name do I want to give to the folder. Then I will say website 0. Website 0. So my name of the name of my folder is website 0. You understand? Then I can click enter, or I can just click away to just leave it like this. So now I have the name of my folder. So when I hover onto it, you see that it's still telling me that it's an empty folder. You see down there, it gives you the date it has been created, and it gives you the time, and then it tells you that in this folder there is nothing inside, it is empty. When I come to this folder, you see that there is something, it gives you an information that the size of this folder is 234 bytes. And the file which is inside is an index.html. But this one, because we just created it new, we didn't put any file inside.
Sure.
So it is empty. You understand? So that is how normally you understand all these files. So now if you click, we want to go inside, you see that it is an empty folder. You see this folder is empty. There is nothing inside. So as we did when we are creating the folder, we can do the same here. We can right click here and we go to the same place, new. And now we are inside the folder that we just created. So here is telling you that now, since you are inside the folder, do you want to create another folder inside that same folder, or you now want to create a file? So it is your choice whether you want to create another file or just create a folder inside them. So that is how we do it. We create folder inside a folder, or we create file inside a folder.
Folder.
You understand? So we can have multiple folders. One folder, we can have a lot of folders inside them. You understand? So we can have a chain of folders, a chain of files. You understand? One folder can carry multiple folders and multiple files. You understand? So that is normally how it does. So let me go back. Now we have our file, our website 0. So now there are two ways. Now I can come here and create that same folder that I did here. You understand? I can come here and do the same thing. But some people prefer to create the folder here and then come here and open the folder inside here. You understand? So now there are two ways to do this. I can come here and then I've created the name of my folder. I can go inside and say, I want to create a file. Then I right click and go to the new. Since I want to create a file, not folder, I can go here and say, I want to create a text file. Then I click on it. So now, most of the times, the extension that I told you is very, very important. You understand? So if I leave it as a text, it will just be a blank text. You understand? It is also an extension or a type of file. Text. Just a normal text. You understand? I can also come and say, okay, no, I don't want to have this dot text. Instead of dot txt, which is an extension, I want to clear everything and give it a name, which we are going to use in our website because Google Chrome understands HTML documents. So I can come and say, no, I want to create an HTML document. How can I do that? Give it a name first of all. Now say index. Index always stands for the home page of any website. You understand? You might have different pages, but when it comes to the name, which is index, as a developer or someone who is designing a website, you understand that index as the name is the home page of your website. So just put that in your mind. Whenever you see something index, it means the home page of your website. Now we can give it an extension which is HTML. So we speak dot HTML. So now when we click enter, it now asks us, it is asking us, if you change a file name extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? You remember that it was .txt, meaning it was a text file. So now if we change it to an HTML file, the computer is asking us it will become unusable because we understand that we are going to use it inside our website. It is good for us, but you cannot just open the file here inside the Explorer. You understand? Because it doesn't want you to destroy the already file which is there, which is the text. So he is giving you a warning. Do you want to change this? Because if you change it, it might become unusable. But it is you. You know what you want. So you say yes. The when you say yes, you see it has turned into a Google Chrome icon because .html it is a website language, that is markup language. You understand? So that is why it automatically takes the effect of Google Chrome, because when you click you want to open it, it's going to open a Google Chrome for you. It cannot open just a text for you. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is how we create our HTML. So we can just see, I want to create different one. So I can just copy this, right click, copy, paste the same thing, and then change the name. You see it's already giving me a different name because it doesn't want the same name. So I can just right click and say I want to rename this and make it about. Enter. So now I have this about. So I can create another one and say I want to right click and make it contact. So now it means that in our website folder, which is website 0, now we are in this folder, we have different files, or we can say we have 3 different HTML files. So these are what we call pages. You understand? These are different pages. And if I ask you, which page do you think is the home page? Let me make it bigger for you.
Okay.
Which page do you think is a home page? It is the home.
The
Come again?
index.html.
Okay, yeah. Index.html.
Index.html.
So this is your home page. So all these are the contact page, about page. So when you go to a website and you see somebody, like when I go inside my website like this, so now this is my index page. And most index page or home page is where you have your own domain name, website name, meaning .com. I mean, when you are online. But here we are not online. Here we are on our computer. That's why you see it is like that. But when we are online and it is the home page, mostly that is what you see, .com. That is the home page. But when I want to go to the about page, this is the link that I can click. So I can click here, it take me to about page. So you see that here we have what? .com, which is the home, and then we have slash, we see / we are now in about us page. This is here, we are here. So this is the same as here, we are here. When I click blog page, we are now moving to a different page, which is blog. You see blog. So the slash matters, you see, we are in a blog now. I can click SEO. So it changes, we have turned into, we are in the SEO page. So that is how we create. So we can create different page, the names here. So whenever we open here, these links, it means that we are opening these different things. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
So that is how it works. That is how it works on a computer and how it works online. So this is what I'm telling you how it works here online with the links. This is how it works on a computer. You understand? That's that is how you can view them and understand it easily. So now if I'm inside the website folder, I go inside. So now you see it tells that we have a different files. It gives you the name of the files there. So I click inside, I have different files. You understand? So it's the same thing. I can say also go inside here and do the same thing as I created this place, because first of all I created folder, right? and then I enter inside and create these all files. So I can say, oh, I did this the same thing. So let me show you the other ways. So in this way, I'll make it website. Okay, I'll make it website 1 so that you see how it is. So now here, I created this folder inside this file explorer. You understand? So here is inside my computer. So let me give you the other way. The other way is to come inside the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. And now here too, there is an option to create the folder and a file. How? You first come in on File. You click on the file. So it gives you an option. You understand? It gives you an option. So which option? Now you can see open folder or new file. But what do we want? We want, first of all, we want what? Folder.
Folder.
We don't have a file to open because we just started. We don't have anything. So we want something that can hold our files. What can hold our file is folder. We come here, we see we want to create a folder. But here it gives you an option. Here it as if like you already have a folder that you want to open. But when you go inside your computer, you find out that you don't have any folder. So you are telling the computer, let me create a new folder and then I can open it. So that is what we are doing now. So now we are just using the open folder as if we already have a created folder. You understand? Although we already created, but for example, if you just open like this and you've never created any folder, that is what it tells you. You don't have any folder. So let me open a folder. But instead of opening a folder, since I don't have a folder, I'm now going to create a new folder and then open it. So you click on open folder. So now it takes us inside our computer. Then it tells you where do you want to save or where do you want to open your folder and save it there. I can say I want to open it inside my document folder. Maybe I can go inside the download folder here. You see. So here, because you are telling the computer that you want to open a folder, you already have some folder here. If you are new, maybe you've not created some folder, you wouldn't see all this. You understand? You see only blank if you've never opened or never created a folder here before. But if you've ever created a folder, it will come here. A lot of folders are here because I've created a lot of them before. You understand? And the one we just created was website 0, right? So I can decide to open this because this is a folder. And when I open it, it will show me the files inside them that was created about, contact, and index. It will show me that folder, but it will show me the files inside this VS Code. But I say that, oh no, I already have the folder, but I don't want to use this folder. I want to create a new folder, which is empty. So I can just come at the blank space, maybe in between this, right click, go to new, and then I say folder. I want a folder. I click on it, then tells you what name do you want. So I can also say website 1. Then I'll click select the folder. Select this same folder. So I click display twice. First of all, it highlight it. Then I click again to go inside it. And now instead of going inside, now because I am opening a file because here when I was in the VS Code, I told it that I'm going to open a folder, right? So when I come here, because I've created a folder, when I click select folder, it now telling me that open this folder now. then I'll open it here. It will show here as blank. So I want to click here. Now it is going to open. So it has opened here. You see the name, website 1. You understand? I close this thing. So now you see this folder is website 1. So that is the folder that I opened, because I told it that I'm going to open a folder. Here I came here and said I want to open a folder. So when I click, now I have opened a folder. But the folder that I've opened, it was empty. But still, because you are inside the VS Code, there is still an option to create a file in a folder. You see, when you were here, you can right-click anywhere, and say you want to go to new and create a folder, right? The same thing when you are inside VS Code, it gives you an option. You can create a file or a folder. So there are two options here, new file or new folder. So when I click on new folder, it's going to create another new folder inside the old folder that I opened. But because I'm already inside the folder 1, I don't want to create a different folder. I just want to create a file, as I did in my website 0 here. Website 0 here. These are the files that I created. So now I say I want to create similar things. So I just go click on new folder, and then it tells me what name do you want to. I say index.html. I click enter. Then it will take this index.html as a file and open it here. You see? So this is the same thing. It took this and open it here. Meaning it gives me a place where I cannot enter my script or type my code. So now it's like I'm on a blank paper that I'm going to write something. You understand? And I can decide to write something here. Now I'm on what? On my, like I've put a pen on a paper, which is called index.html, and I'm writing. So that is how it looks like. Then I said, no, since I have the file, I want to have another file, which is about. Then I'll come here, I say new file. When I right click, it tells me write the name of the file. I'll say about.html. Then it also opened the blank page for me, telling me I can now write something inside the about page. Then when I finish everything, I say, no, I'm not finished. I want to create another page. Say, okay, go and create new file. Write the name. I say contact.html. I also have a blank page, which is contact. I can write all my contacts plus maybe 233, write the numbers, my telephone number, my address. I can just write everything about my address, everything. And this will be my contacts page. So this is how we create different pages inside our editor. You understand? So that is how we create all these things. And now if I want to delete, I say, no, I don't want all these pages. I just want one page that I can work on. That is my home page. Then I can just right click here and go to delete. I don't want this. Delete it. And go to about. I say, I don't want it. Delete it. I don't want it. Go out. So it is gone. Remaining only the index, which I told you, it is the home page. Right? Now, we can type or we can write anything here that we want. So now we have a blank HTML document that we can type our code inside. Do you have any question?
No.
You understood everything?
Yeah, I'm understanding.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm following you. I'm doing the same.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So all this thing I'm teaching you because you need to understand how it works, the basics, and when you understand all these things, it will become easier for you. You understand? Because there are some you see someone going inside his computer and he will create maybe the files, and then now he will go and open those files inside this VS Code. And you are, how did he do it? You understand? So you have to
Yeah.
understand there are two ways that you can create. Either you can create the file, the folder here, and open that folder that you created, or you can create a new folder and then you create all the other pages or other files here. You understand? So these are the two options that you have. So now we are in our page, which is index.html. So now, if you could remember, I told you something about boilerplate. You remember? Something like, which is
Yeah.
called boilerplate. Boilerplate. What is that? Do you remember?
You feel like it's a code, like the moment you put it, then it show everything. So,
Okay. This boilerplate is like a template. You understand? It's like a template. For instance, if you want to create, how should I give you an example? A template is like something you don't create from scratch. Understand? Because we don't want you to
and it,
create that thing from scratch, from zero. We want you to just have the thing and just start working with. Understand? So we give you that template for you to start working with. So for instance, if you have to create a flyer, and when you go inside, let's say Canva, to create let's say you want to create a flyer, and you just want an example of those flyer that you can just edit them and then use them. So that file, that examples are called templates. You understand? It's not like you are just starting. No, it's just like a template for you to just do everything. So for instance, if look at the structure, this structure, the structure I was telling you this. So this is the structure, right? So this is the structure of a HTML document. You understand? So instead of me coming to type all this thing here, it will take time for me to type if I'm not someone who know how to type very fast. It will take time, right? Even if I know how to type very fast, still I need to spend some time on it. You understand? So this code, it tells you that no, why don't we put something inside this so that we give a short code on it so that when you type that short code, it will just give you full code. It doesn't, you don't need to type from scratch so that you can get going. That is the boilerplate. Understand? So sometimes it has two different symbols that you can type. Someone can just type HTML, and then there are different HTML that we have. We have HTML, HTML5, because now we have, look at HTML5 boilerplates. Understand? So you can just click on it, and it give you this HTML boilerplate. You understand? You can also say no. I have a shortcut which is an exclamation mark. I type this, And then I took what? You see it give you this. You see this abbreviation gives this one. Understand? So the same thing, just click on it and it gives you a complete starting template for a website page. I hope you are following.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. So now since we have, so now it's the same thing that I explained to you. We have there to declare that we want HTML, first of all. And then secondly, we have what we call HTML, which is open, and HTML, which is closed. So we have something like this. And then HTML, we have this, and then we have this. This, open, close. So this is the root, right? The root. We have the root now. So the second thing is the head, and head contain the title, as I told you. We can separate this. We have the head, and the head which is closed. This is the head, and the head which is closed. So inside our head, we have this. This is thing that you don't see. All this you don't see inside your browser. Except this, because this is just a title. So we can just change this title and write what? What was the name? My maybe okay, just write first. You can write maybe your name. So that yes, website. Nice. Can you so that yes, websites. That is your website. I can write it that way. Right? So you have their website. So this is what will show here. For instance, this is what will show here. Like here is Amazon, here is new, and here is this SEO. So that is what will show here after we complete this page. You understand? So all these things, we start from here, HTML, at the elements. Look at, read the top there. It is telling the HTML element represent the root of an element, as I told you, the root. So inside the HTML elements, we are telling that we want to use a language, which is English. So when we write anything like this, let's say HTML, and you give a space, for instance, I give a space. So this one, HTML is element. That's the name. It is an element. HTML is an element. Head is an element. Body is an element. Title is an element. Meta is an element. But immediately you give a space or you move one step ahead and type something, that something is mostly going to be an attribute. You understand? It is attribute. It adds functionality to your HTML. You understand? Because when you look at here, it's HTML, that's the elements, right? But immediately I move a small margin or one step and write language. This is called attribute. An attribute has what? It has its own value. This is the attribute and this is the value of the attribute. So what attribute do you want, or what functionality do you want to add to the HTML? You said lang, which stands for language. You understand? And you are saying the language is equal to what? What type of language are you going to use on your website? And you are saying that, oh, I want EN, which is a shortcut of English. If it is a Spanish, you say what? ES, meaning Espanol, meaning Spanish. That's the language. You understand? So the attribute with the value. You understand? If it is a dash, I think it's something DE or something like that. You understand? If it is French, it's FR. So you're telling that, oh, this, my website is the default language of my website is English, or the default language of my website is Turkish, TR. Understand? So that is what attribute does. It adds functionality to these elements. You understand? So with this, you are adding language to your HTML. So all this side, all this enclosed will have a language of English. You understand? So that is what attribute does. Then we come to the head. We have what we call head, and then head close, meaning here is our head. And inside our head, what do you have inside our head? The structure of an HTML says that inside your head, you have to have something like meta. And what does meta represent? A kind of metadata that cannot be expressed using title, base, link, styles, and script elements. You understand? So it's also an element, and different with different metadata. What type of metadata or what the metadata do you have? We have an attribute called character sets. That is, in short, char sets. That stands for character sets. You understand? Character set. The attribute declares the page's character encoding. You understand? And the encoding, it uses what we call UTF-8. You understand? It's kind of a meta character for the website. There are a lot of different types meta characters, but mostly what we normally use is the UTF-9. So I can go here and say and type list of meta character sets. Understand? So here I can have a lot of different, but let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't type it well. Let me see. Can have this HTML. So here it can give me a lot of this. You see here we have character set UTF. We can also have some sets. No, yeah. I want to see if I could get some because I know there are some of them. Rotation. UTF. Character set UTF. This is for support virtually all characters and symbols globally. You understand? Like the way you see English. So this code or this unique encoding is used mostly to tell the browser that we are using this kind of Latin words. You understand? So all the symbol that you see, it include all of them: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10, up to all characters, comma, minus. That is what it contains. So you can see that characters and symbols globally, making it the modern standard for web pages, replacing older ones like ISO 88591, Latin 1, or even Windows 1252. So these are also some of the other character sets, but they were limited to specific alphabets. You understand? So sometimes you see A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All these are include here. So that is what in head, that is what sometimes you don't see all these things. There are something to be hidden. You understand? That is character set. You want UTF-1, which is the modern. You understand? So coming to, we have another one, meta, which we have a name, viewport, and this is a simple thing that you need to understand, that it's just to show you or to describe the screen size. You understand? Last time I was telling you that, look, it tells you that this is the attribute name and the value is viewport. What is the viewport? Meaning, let's say I'm viewing my screen. You understand? So it just tells you that, oh, viewport, open the screen or open the window, for instance. And then the content inside is telling you that weight divided width. You understand? So it's a weight, that means my width should be equal to the width of the device. So all the content I'm going to write should be equal to the weight, which should be the weight of the device. And then we ask, what is the scale? On which scale do you want to use? We want to use it on 100% scale. And this is simple thing to understand, that when you open a browser like Google Chrome, normally it's set to 100 viewpoints or viewport. You understand? We have zoom in and zoom out, especially when you go here inside at the to see some of the properties of your Chrome. When you click here and you come down, you see something we call zoom, meaning you are zooming out or you are zooming in. You understand? When you zoom in, you are making the thing look bigger. And when it looks bigger, it looks like the tablet size. You are making it bigger. But when you're making it smaller to go and be zoomed out to be smaller, you are making it like look like a big screen. So it's like an opposite direction. When it is bigger, it means small screen, and when it is smaller, it means big screen. So that is how you should understand it. So now here it has 100%, and 100% means our view scale, our initial scale is 1. Here it says 1.0. 1.0 is in a percentage form. So here you see it is percentage. You see 100%. So 100% is 1.0 here. So meaning 100. So that is the scale or initial scale. But for instance, if I go here and say no, if I change here to, let's say, maybe I don't want to be 100, I want to be something like 200 or something like this. It will be like your website will look like this. When I come here, I say, no, I want it to be like 200. So now your website is going to be like this. You see. So this is how 200 is, the scale, initial scale. So you are building your website and you are starting the initial scale as 200. So you see how your website will look like. It is zoom in. You see it is bigger. You can now see. So this zoom in, mostly it is normally the phone or the viewport of a phone or your tablet, because when you zoom in, when you take your phone, you see that, oh, everything is look like this. You zoom in. So that is how it look. But when I come here and say no, I want to have at 100. So you can reduce it to 100. Zoom out to 100. So that is the initial scale that we are using. Normally, every developer uses. You understand? But sometimes when you open a browser, sometimes you don't see a button unless you go and reduce the size. You reduce the size to become smaller. You see it's smaller now, which is 67%. You see now you can see some of the edges here. You see how, but it's smaller. So this screen size is for bigger screen. though you are zooming out, but it is a bigger screen. So smaller is for bigger screen and bigger is for smaller screen. That is how you should understand it. So let's bring it to 100. So this is how it tells you. Understand? Viewport, the content which should be there, device weights, which is should be initial scale should be 1, meaning 100. Right. So we understood this, and then we understood this. Then we come to here as a title. I told you the title, as I told you before. I hope you all remember. So this is how it works. So all these are inside the head. You understand? Then we move to the body. We come now inside the body. And we say everything that is inside the body, it's whatever we see here, from here, all here. So whatever we write here are inside the body. So for instance, if I want to show you the proof, I can right click here, go to inspect, and then I want to show you what I'm trying to say. Look at, from here, everything inside here is inside the body. So let's see. I'll go here, click this link, and say, where is the body? I'll look through and look. Can I see the body? Let me see. Can I see body here? You see, we have HTML. Language is what? English. Can I see the body? You see the head, right? And let's
Yeah.
enter inside the head. What do you see inside the head? So inside the head, you have all these meta. You see meta name. These are different things together. These are for other purpose. You see, here is my email. You can see my email. And you can see the character set is UTF minus 8. We have different meta. You can even create your own. Understand everything. And the title, look at the title. List of meta character set. Google search. You understand? List of meta character set. Google search. Where do you see this? Title. Look at top here.
Title.
List of meta character set. Google search. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
So this is the title. So you see it is here. Oh, one back. You see it is here. Title. You see list of meta character set. Google. Right. So let me see, where is the body? Go. Let me check. Where is my body? Where is the body? Where is the body? I go through. So this is the body. So look at, when I put my mouse on the body, you see all this become highlighted.
Mm.
You understand? We'll go back again. Because if I click on the body, all the page will be highlighted. You see, because the body is the content. So because I'm on the body, it highlighted all these places for me. You see, it will highlight all of them because it is the body. So all content are inside the body. So that's how we can inspect this thing. So all the stuffs written are inside the body. So that is how the structure of an HTML is, the simple structure. You understand? So let me see if you understood some of them. Okay, let's go one by one. So if you see something like this, initially, what comes into your mind?
That's the name of the file that you are working on.
Okay, meaning
Your website.
the HTML document.
Yeah.
Okay, it means you are working on HTML documents, right?
HTML.
Okay. Then I come down. I have HTML and I have HTML close, open, close. What is the HTML for?
It's the root.
It is the root, right? So when you step ahead or one step ahead and write something like this, lang is equal to en. What does it mean? First of all, what does lang stand for?
Lang stands for language.
I know it stands for language, but the
And
name, here you say HTML is an element, right?
yeah,
So similar way, language is what here?
it
But
refers to the language that
yeah, I know.
you are building.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're trying to say. But I'm trying to ask, when you move a one step ahead, understand, and write anything here, what does that thing represent? What is the name of that thing? Because I told you that thing is an attribute, and every attribute has its own value. So language is an attribute, and the value is English. Yes, so always have to understand the keywords. Now here you see HTML is an element, right? And when someone asks you, what is an element? So you can say that, oh, the element tell the browser to display something on it. Understand? Because each element that you write will represent something. You understand? So HTML, you see, it is the root. It means you have a root that you are opening inside the browser. And because it is the root, that is where we are giving it an attribute language as an English. Because when you look at even a human being, if you want to understand his root, immediately you listen to his language that he's speaking. Sometimes it can help you to say, oh, this guy is from this tribe. If the person is speaking Akan or Chi or something, you say, oh, this guy is from Ashanti region. You understand? So that is what it does. We tell you that you say, oh, this is the root. Okay, I understand. This is the root. So if that person or if that thing has the root, what is the language? It's English. And the language stands for an attribute, and every attribute has a value, and that value is English. So lang English. This similar thing here, meta, character set, has its value. You understand? So the character set is an attribute which has a value UTF minus 8 because we all have different character set. But the modern one is the UTF minus 8 because it is the modern one. There were a lot of different, which is the ASCII, the Windows, but the one which is modern and used nowadays is UTF minus 8. So that is how you explain it. So let's go. What about meta? This side. What can you say about this side?
Meta is a display.
Okay. Meta, the name of that meta is what?
Okay.
This viewport, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So what is the content?
it represents what you are, the content.
The content is also an attribute.
Uh, yeah, it's also an attribute that maybe represents something like quantity,
Represent what? The width.
the weight. Yeah,
Meaning device width.
yeah,
You understand? So you are telling the brother that every content that I'm going to write should represent the weight of the device. You understand? It shouldn't go beyond the weight of it should be inside the weight of the device. So now let's say I'm creating a website and I'm creating it on a phone. So because my phone is on a portrait size. It's not landscape, it is portrait. So the width will take the device width. You understand? So all the content that I'm going to write is going to take effect inside the device width. And then you also tackle the scale. And the scale, it is how you zoom in and zoom out the page. And normally the default is 1, which represents 100%. You understand? Okay, so let's go on the title. What about the title?
The title, the title represents your website name.
The website,
The name of the website.
normally the title, sometimes the title look something different. You understand? The thing is, we have title and we have domain name. Here is where the title is displayed, and here is where your name of the website is displayed. So, for instance, I could come here and say, oh, the name of my website is c4wdesign.com. That's the domain name of my website, the name of my website. But the title on this page, how do you understand? Look at this. Which page
Yeah.
am I? I'm in home page, which is I call it index, right? So I'm in index.html. This is my home page, right? But inside the title, so look, so this name will look as what? This index will display here. But this will display here. How you understand? So here we call it a tab. Display, we call it
So
tab.
the title is the one showing in the tab.
Yeah, the title always shows in the tab.
In the
You
tab.
understand?
What about the domain?
The domain is the name of the file, the website. Here, because we are on our computer, we wrote the name as index.html, right? So if I'm going to open this page, it will be like this, index.html as my name. You understand? Index is here. That's the name of the domain, the page. You understand?
Yeah.
But the title is this one. So I will show you how it works. For now, let's see. We are inside the body, and I'm going to create H1 header, and I say this is to test my website H1, for instance. And I write a paragraph and say this is a paragraph, for instance. So inside the body, I'll see these two things. But because these are inside the head, I won't see this. But I'll only see the title. So let's say that we are going to change, we are going to leave it this way. Suraya's website as a title. So let me open it. You remember how to open it?
Live 7.
Come again.
We're going to use the live 7.
Yeah, we are going to use the live server. So make sure you save it. How do you save it?
We'll go to the file.
Okay, go to the file and then where?
And find the save.
Okay, I'll go to
Button.
save. Okay. So save as is if you want to change the name. You understand? If I want to change the name of this folder here, this website one, I don't want to run that. I want to change the name. And I can come here and say save as. Then it will give me an option to say, okay, what name do you want to save it as? You understand? Now, if I want to leave it like that, I just say save. And the shortcut is Control S. Now save it. So I've saved it. Now I'm going to open Live Server because I already installed Live Server. And to install Live Server, I told you to go to the extension here. When you click here, it's opening the extension or the extension that you have. Then you can search the Live Server. And when you say it will come, you click on Live Server, click on it, and then you install. Because I already installed, you see it come as disabled. So I don't want to disable it because I already installed it. So I'll close it and then go back to my Explorer file. So now to open your website, you just go here. There are two ways. Either you come here, because here is if it's the same thing as you are on the page. You understand? We are on the page. It's as if like, take it as if like you are looking at the page, but the page is turned upside down. You understand? You are just looking at the code, but you want to see the real website itself. You right click inside and go to it, open with Live Server. And the shortcut is Alt L, Alt plus O. Or if you don't want to come at any blank space and open it, you can just go on the name. This is the name of the file, right click on it, and then here open with Live Server. Then when you click on it, then it will automatically use the browser that you use to open the file for you. You understand? So now it opened the file for me and it tells me that this is to test my website H1. This is a paragraph. So what we wrote here is what is seen in the body. So these two elements that we wrote, H1 and paragraph, is what is shown here. H1 and then paragraph. You understand? Always the H1 will never show inside. If it shows, it means you made a mistake. The H1, the P, all the elements, they don't show here. It is only these tests. The content inside those open and closing tag shows. So always make sure you open and close. You understand? So I was telling you, okay, since now we've able to tackle this, I was explaining the difference between the title and the name of the website. So now let's look at our title, since you now open the website, and we look at the name of our website. Let's see. See the name of our website. The index what? Index.html. This is just a name. This is just the IP address. You know, the IP address, internet protocol. Because you know there is something that we call internet protocol. Internet protocol. The internet protocol. Look at an IP or internet protocol is a unique numerical label for device on a network. You understand? Device on a network. So we are using a device and our device is on a network. So the live server that you open, it helps you to generate that code, that IP address, in order to use it on Google Chrome or on your browser. So that is what it does. So the server, the live server, converts what you have, the name of your website, as a live server on, websites. You understand? So like a digital home address, enable them to send and receive data over the internet. So because you've used the live server, it helps you to send and receive data over the internet. So whatever we are typing here, it is as if, although we see it to be like we are typing something and it is open inside the browser, but normally what it does is it sends the data and that data got displayed on your website. So it's like in and out. That is what it normally does. But for you, you don't see it that way. You are just seeing it displaying. But normally, this is what it does. It enables them to send and receive data over the internet. So that is the IP address. Or if you are using a local networks, using the internet protocol communication. So it identifies a device's location and interface with common format being the IP4V, example, this. So you see 192.168.1.1. Let's look at our website. What do you have? 192.168.194, right? And this one is the port name or the port number. So all this is done with the help of the live server, and
So
it is
all this number is the IP address of the internet.
yeah. So this is the IP address ending from here because it is a 4 separate digit number. You understand? So sometimes you see dot, dot, dot. So there are 4, 192.168.194.9. In that column, then we give a separate, which is the port 5500. So that is a port. And then it gives you the name of your website. So all these things that you see here, because we are using our local machine, I mean our computer, that is why it uses our IP address. You understand? And this one is not secure because you are on your local machine. You understand? And the live server will help you to open all this on your browser, meaning sending and receiving data. Understand? But you are looking at as if it is when it is sent, you just view it. But what it does at the background, you don't see it. You understand? So that is what the address is. But when you go to online, here is because we are on our local machine. That is why we can see this. So this normally, all this, when you go online, all this convert to what you call the name of your website. If you are online, for instance, my website is what? c4wdesign.com. So instead of displaying this, because I'm live, everybody can see my website. It is turned into this. And this C4, we call it domain name, which you have to always buy from the domain name providers, those who give internet names. You cannot just choose any name and say you are going to use it. No, you have to buy it from those who sells domain name.
Mm.
You understand? That's
So
why
you
you see.
can't create it yourself. You have to buy it first.
Yeah, you have to buy the name.
Mm.
You understand? The name they have been selling. You cannot just use any name just like that. You have to buy the name. You understand? But on your laptop, you can use any name, but it is only on your laptop. It doesn't go online. People don't see it. You understand? So that's why normally we don't care about the name if you are using our computer, whether it is digits, numbers like this. We don't care. We just want to have our website working. So after we see that our website is working, we can now say, no, now I want to link my website, which is working, to the name of the website. Then when you buy the name, then you can do what we call the domain name DNS server settings, which the
Mm.
provider, the company will provide for you. And then you change the name. And then now, if you are online, your name will change to .com. all people who just write your name.com will see this website. You understand? So that's how it works. And the title is this. The title is this, and it always shows on the tab. Always shows on the tab. You understand? And we have something we call also this as a fav icon. We call it fav icon. Normally, it's also written inside here. They normally write it inside here. We call it fav icon. It's just a small. Yeah, you see, they have their fav icon here. Google. This is their fav icon. This is my fav icon. And just to show that this is my website. Some website they have, some others don't have. Look at ours, we don't have it. That's why it's blank.
Yeah.
Now, so when you say, okay, I want to add a fav icon, I can just go here and see W3 school, fav icon. I can just go here and see fav icon. Now, look at the fav icon here. So I can just go here. Look at this is how to add the icon here. You can just copy this and go to my website. And say I want to give a fav icon. I have to get fav icon before, because the fav icon is just a picture. For where is my, I have to get an image. Let me see if I can get free fav icon. Now let me see if they have free fav icon from here. If they have, whether I can use an icon as a free icon, maybe I can use. So let me see if they have. I can see fav icon. Maybe I can see free fav icon. Let me see. Maybe I can see. Okay. So this is a free fav icon. I can just copy it or generate one and see fav icon generator. I can go here and see if I can generate any fav icon, maybe emoji. Go here and say, oh, then go here and say, I want to use fav icon as this, right? So this is a fav icon, beating heart. How can I use it? Download your fav icon in multiple formats. And then there is another way that they say you can also. So now look at, copy the following link tag and paste them into the head of your HTML. So look, I will copy this. This is the sizes. So I'll look at which size do I want, 16 by 16 or 32 or 180. So I want the middle one. Copy the middle one. I'll copy this middle one, because this one is giving me different formats. Copy this middle one and go here, paste it here, right? You can go here. Look at my website. What happened? Look at here.
It's changed.
Look at my website now. You see my website has changed. No, I'm coming. Not that one. No, I'm coming. I'm coming. Let's copy this and go here and say I don't want all this and paste this and save. Let me see. There should be the file should work here. No, it's not. What like someone to. What is happening? What is happening? It should work. Okay, 1 minute. H, where is the file icon now? Okay, I want to check what is it. Okay, 1 minute. I should just download this. Download this. And I'll download I see from the zip and download it here. Go to here and download it. Okay. Then I can download it here, open it. And when I open it, I remove the zip file. And then you will see these 5 icons. I can use any one that I want. So I can say, oh, I want to use this is 151.90. Okay, let me just use one. Yes. I can go to my website and inside my website. No. Then just paste it here. So now I have this 5 icon, right? It's named 5icon.ico. I can just go here. So here is the reference. Understand? Reference. So I can just go and then delete this 5icon.ico. 5icon.ico. Then I can save it now. Then go back to my website now and see what happened. What is happening? No, there's something called comment. Make.icon. What is the name? Name is 5icon. Refresh. Okay. Okay. Last time and see. Mention icon. Comment type. Let's see the cycles. No, I don't know why it's not working here. I don't see some. Okay, later I'll check it. I don't know why the icon is not working, but let me see. Okay, use I don't think I use an image tag here, but let me see. Let me see if the image can work there, but sometimes the image can work. Okay, so I think the thing is, I don't know why it's not working, but later I'll check it and see so that in the next lesson I'll show you how it works. So normally when you add the icon will show here. You see at the top here. Let me see. Normally that is where it shows, but I don't know why this one is not working. I don't know, is it because it's icon? Let me see something. Okay, let me see something. Let me see from the image. What is the images? You have an icon. We only have icon. Okay, let me look at this. Sometimes it can cause trouble like this. So let me see. Sometimes So, you see now it's working. So you see we have Suraya's website, and you see here there is an icon here. So normally that is what it does. So you see, even in their website, they also use the same thing. So you see now we have an icon. So it's the same thing. You can search online, look at which image you want to use. Maybe you can go inside there and choose different image. For instance, the same thing as we did. Maybe you can choose someone like this. You can choose different one like this. Download it, click download, the same thing I did. Download it and go and use it inside the website. You understand? So normally that is how it works. Just a simple step. So when you add it, you see this icon here. So normally you see mine is this icon. Understand? So that is what I told you. Everything is here. You see all where the body is, and then yeah, this is, I think, the structure of HTML. So let me know if you have any question. I think there are a lot of things.
But today that's like the last time, it's kind of confusion for me. But today I kind of find it clear. I understand.
No, the thing is, if you have a lesson like one-on-one, it's easier for you to understand, because when I'm teaching, I normally ask if you understand or not, and I always want you to follow up. So sometimes it's easy for you to understand that way. So normally what we did, I think, you can just look up the recap of it, because normally what I try to tell you is just the same thing. We look at the structure, the tag, we look at the elements, the attribute, and we look at the heading and the paragraph. You understand? So this is what we've covered today. So let's see, maybe on Wednesday, if everything went well, we can also continue with the rest, right? Are you there? Right. Hello? Are you there?
Okay. Thank you for today's lesson.
Okay, you're welcome. So just go and do a lot of practice. I know, I don't think it's much, it's just a little bit. So just go and do a lot of practice.
There's nothing much, but I'll go back and do practice.
Yeah,
And with the video, like with the recording, I'll check it so that it will be easier for me to go through.
yeah. Well, okay, that was perfect. Okay, so I'll see you on Wednesday. Inshallah, Wednesday.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Just make sure you do the practice. If you do the practice, you don't have any fear. If you have anything, you don't understand anything, just write on the, maybe if you don't have any, understand the meta character, just type it on Google, or maybe just put your mouse on here and you can read something about it.
Okay.
You understand? It's easier for you to understand. So by on Wednesday, I expect you to be able to explain all this structure. You understand? Be able
Okay.
to open the live server, and the same thing that we did here now. Just make sure you did that for me.
I did everything that you did. I opened the live server right now.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Just most of the time, just try to do the same thing. Always try to put something here. If you don't even understand, if it is P, you can just put H2, type enter, write something in it, save and open live server, and just see how it appears. You understand? Since you are inside the body, you can display a lot of things. You understand? And try out how it works. So by the time we meet again, it become easier for you. You understand? Everything will be easier. Just practice make man perfect. You understand? So just do a lot of practice. It's simple, but just that if you don't do practice, it's become difficult for you.
Difficult.
Yeah,
You
okay.
forget the steps.
Definitely. So see you on Wednesday.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
See you.
Okay. See you.
Bye.